There are a lot of gadgets out there that say they're going to change your life as far as cooking is concerned. And while lots of them are really handy, I don't think they're necessary. Welcome to Munch with Mickey, and this is my list of tools and utensils that I think are essential for you to be a good cook. I'm going to break these down into two categories: absolutely essential and handy to have. Anything outside of that, I think, are just up to personal choice. I'm not saying they're not necessary at all, but they're just not essential. Absolutely essential. I'm going to start with a really obvious one: your hob and oven. You need something to cook with. Learning how to use your hob and oven can prevent you from wasting money on unnecessary appliances down the line. Next, you'll need something to cut your food and to cut your food on. I'd recommend getting a half-decent chef's knife, as this is going to be able to carry through most of the chopping jobs you're going to run into. I've been able to pick up pretty decent chef's knives from places like TK Maxx in the realms of £12. Get something with a decent bit of weight to it, you won't go wrong. As for your chopping board, I'd recommend getting a wooden one with enough surface area that you're going to be able to play around on. Wooden boards provide a nice material to cut into, and they self-sanitize as long as they're kept clean, and you don't have to worry about microplastics when they get worn down. This is one of mine. It's been with me for about 5 years. It's only just kind of getting worn in. This was also a TK Maxx purchase. Good sturdy fella. Please don't buy glass chopping boards. Next, we'll need something to put our food waste in. We might need to put prep to the side while we're working. And this is where mixing bowls come in on the daily basis. Yes, they can be used for baking and that sort of thing, but as an actual utensil, I think they're so useful for just storing things as you go. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they are so useful. Now on to what we're going to cook our food in or on. For your oven, that's easy. You can just get some cheap trays like this. I also have a tray like this. It doesn't really matter what you're working with, it's all good. In terms of pans, it depends on how complex the food you're going to be cooking is, and it also depends on the volume that you're going to be cooking. Essentials that I would say include a frying pan or a wok. Maybe you want both. And I would also say have a decent saucepan. If you want to get into cast iron or more expensive options, absolutely go ahead. But anything with a bit of non-stick is going to serve you well. Now we're going to need something to stir our food with. Wooden spoons are always great. A rubber spatula is even better, but both are good options. Keeping with this theme, I'd like to put whisks, ladles, and tongs into the mix. They're so handy. Doesn't matter what you're doing. At some point these are going to be necessary in your cooking. A final note on things we could consider essential would be peelers, graters, lifters, a set of scales, and something to strain your food like a sieve or a colander, but I'd recommend a sieve. I forgot to mention probes. Buy a probe. They keep you safe, and you can accurately tell how far along your cooking process is. These are amazing. Handy to have. In terms of things that are handy to have, this could become a very long video. But in thinking about food in its purest form for people that are just learning how to cook, here are some items that I really wouldn't want to get rid of. First up, I'd like to pick my knife steel. Dull knives are more dangerous than sharp ones, and sharp knives will save you so much time. So get a steel and learn how to hone your knife and you'll be flying. I would then say that a masher and a small stick blender are super handy if you're into soups, stews, and sauces. Serving utensils make portioning a lot easier, can save time on plating, and usually come with a ladle anyway, so you might as well have them. Measuring jugs are handy for quickly getting the right measurements on liquids, but can also be used to store prep to one side, just like how I mentioned with mixing bowls. And finally, a shout out to the humble tin opener, because you never know when you're gonna get caught out. And that's my breakdown of everything I think you need to become a good cook. If you're stressed because you may not have everything that I've mentioned in this video, please don't be, because I've picked up things from supermarkets all the way through my career. It's better to buy a utensil and know how and why you're going to use it than to have all the gear and no idea. If you like this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and letting me know any utensils that I've missed. Thanks for stopping by.